That's why you're a cactus in a rainforest. Because your genetics have not evolved concurrently with your environment. You're total misplaced. And I'm not talking about just you, I'm talking about everybody in the United States. Everybody, all human beings on this planet. We are misplaced in time. You're not supposed to be eating every 2 hours. You're not supposed to be eating all the sugary things. You're not supposed to be eating all the processed foods. So if you look at history of the human being, Homo sapien, right? There have been 200,000 generations before the agricultural revolution. Then, how many generations went by in the agricultural revolution? Anybody has an idea? It's only 600 generations. Only 600 generations in the agricultural revolution. And how many generations have gone by with the industrial revolution? 10. So when you look at the span of time and the genetics, your genetics that you all have here right now, you want to say, oh, yeah, agricultural is going to change my genetics, my agricultural stuff, It's only been 600 generations. So that's only in the last 4 minutes of the history of the Homo sapien. And the Industrial Revolution represents 1 millisecond of your entire ancestral history. So how do you expect your genetics to have evolved? So I say to all of you, continue doing what you're doing right now, and another 100,000 generations from now, your progeny will develop the genetic changes that are going to be necessary to sustain this type of lifestyle, and they'll live to 110 years old as well, and they'll be healthy. What kind of nonsense is that? So you want to eat plastics, and you want to eat artificial and processed foods? Fine, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Another 100,000 generations from now, those kids will be able to handle this diet that we're doing today. You see the lag phase? That's why you're a cactus in a rainforest. Because your genetics have not evolved concurrently with your environment. You're total misplaced. And I'm not talking about just you, I'm talking about everybody in the United States. Everybody, all human beings on this planet. We are misplaced in time. And we've so rapidly changed our environment and our food and our lifestyle and processing and everything else, and then we expect our genetics to handle it. I'm a diesel engine and you're trying to put gasoline in me. That's the problem. Then you're wondering why I sputter and make noises, huh? That's why it happens. So coronary artery disease is definitely more malignant in South. It's because genetically you haven't evolved on that background. So the risk factors are metabolic syndrome, as you know, hypertension, smoking. But look, diabetes. Now, diabetes and pre-diabetes causes hypertension. So I'm going to stop here right now and say that hypertension, you all know what high blood pressure is, right? Oh yeah, I got high blood pressure. There's no such thing as high blood pressure on its own. There's no such thing. It's always a reason for high blood pressure. It's either you have sleep apnea because you're overweight, or you have diabetes or pre-diabetes. Or you have a kidney problem. There's always a reason for hypertension. And if your doctor says to you, oh, you just got hypertension, well then what, God just wanted to give you hypertension? Oh, I had hypertension deficiency. Yeah, there's no such thing. So there's always a reason for hypertension. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh yeah, you just have idiopathic hypertension or essential hypertension. There's no such thing. So the next one I said here is increased abdominal hip ratio greater than 0.85. So this is very important. Because the shape of man has changed. The shape of man doesn't look like David the statue anymore. The new man looks like this. And he's got his Coke in the one hand and he's got a hamburger in the other. What's going on? The shape of man has changed. And why has it changed? I'm going to tell you that this is not just from eating too much. This is from hormonal change. You've become a hormonally modified human being. I started out by talking about hormones. Which hormone? Insulin. So now you understand that it's not about calories in and calories out. You can have the same amount of calories, but if they're causing a problem with insulin, then you're going to become a hormonally modified human being and you're going to get all the diseases associated with this, with hyperinsulinemia. So it's this old theory about calories in and calories out, totally wrong. So those studies have already been done in rats. They've been done in human beings already. 2,000 calories, both groups. But this group is processed foods. They all get sick. Same group, 2,000 calories, but whole foods. They do just fine. Because I just told you that for so many generations you are consuming whole foods, now you're eating processed foods. Your gut didn't change. It's still 13 feet of bowels. Your hormones didn't change. But now all that processed food, all that lot, all that flour, all the refined products suddenly hit your duodenum. The K cells go crazy. They've never seen this before. They've never seen so much powdery stuff come through the stomach and say, oh my God, what are we going to do with all this? I'm supposed to be slowly digesting this over 13 feet of bowels. Instead, I have to now deal with all this in one onslaught. So what do? I produce a whole lot of GIP, which is a hormone. And that causes the pancreas, goes to the pancreas and says, make all the insulin you can, man. I have a whole truckload of food here. That's exactly what your body's language is saying. So the insulin comes around, pumps into your bloodstream and says, yeah, I'm going to get rid of all that sugar that's got. And what does it do? It puts it all into storage. Insulin's job is to put into storage. And when insulin puts into storage, where does it put it? It puts it into 4 places. You all need to know what insulin does, because glucose is bad in the bloodstream. It has to get it out. The first place it puts it into your liver. So you get a fatty liver. 80% of Indians have a fatty liver. 80%. The next place it puts it is next to the pancreas. So you get a fatty pancreas and a fat in the gut, and then the viscera. So you look at him from the back, he looks great. Turn sideways, oh my God! That's the guy. That's the guy. So it all goes into the viscera. And then the 4th place it goes to is to the muscles. And when it gets to the muscles, then it's in between all the muscle cells and it causes insulin resistance, even more insulin resistance, because now those muscles can't respond properly to the signals from insulin. So if you look around, you can see it. It's in front of your eyes everywhere. So this is what's happening with insulin. So you're becoming a hormonally modified human being. So only 2,000 calories you took in, just like the other guy. But you took it in the form of processed foods, in the form of powdered stuff, lot, flour, croissants, bagels, cake, chips, anything that comes in a box, don't eat it. Anything that's made in a factory, don't eat it. Anything that comes with a barcode, don't eat it.